You're not going to believe this, but Miss Laura's Social Club, a former bordello, serves as the visitor center for Fort Smith, and yes, it's on the wrong side of the tracks. Out of 7 row houses that were formerly in Fort Smith's Old West Red Light District, Miss Laura's is the only house of ill repute that still stands. Now it is the only former bordello in Arkansas on the National Register of Historic Places, so Fort Smith sits on the border between what was known as the United States and Indian Territory. Being a border town invited this sort of business into the town, and several bordellos were established around the turn of the century. This house was built in 1896 as the Riverfront Commercial Hotel. Then it was bought by Miss Laura in 1898 and ran as a bordello. Any woman who worked in this bordello also lived here. They were not allowed to leave the fenced area without permission from the sheriff. This meant that they were not free to go to town for any reason without permission. In 1910, business began to falter as more and more people in Fort Smith wanted to do away with the red light district. Miss Laura realized that business was going to take a turn for the worse, and she sold the house to Bertha Gale Dean, known as Big Bertha, in 1911 for $47,000. Little is known of Miss Laura after that. Big Bertha ran the brothel until her death in 1948. She left the building to Julius Bartholomew. We don't know much about him, and he's not really important to the story anyway, except that the building was eventually abandoned, and in 1963, the local government announced that unless a buyer was found, the house would be demolished. Donald Reynolds, founder of Don Ray Media Group, bought the house and saved it from demolition. The building was elected in 1973 for inclusion in the National Register of Historic Places, and restoration began in 1983. It reopened as the visitor center in the fall of 1992. You can tour it today for free. And that is the story of Miss Laura's Social Club. There is so much more to explore in Fort Smith, and we will be doing that in the next few videos. If you liked this video, please remember to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. As always, thank you so much for watching, and we hope to see you around the natural state.